Hey guys, what's happening? So today I'm just going to be doing an updated deck profile for the Dragonoid Maximus deck I made months back. As you as you might know, the the ruling has changed since I last made that. It used to be as long as a hero card represents Dan, Winton, or Leah, it counts towards Maximus, but now they've updated it so it has to have full name. So Age of Aurelus Leah no longer works. So you have to use Battle Brawler's Leah in order to get the win condition. So that said, this deck is made so I can achieve that win condition. I actually almost did that the other day until someone Cinder Coiled me in a match, so that was fun. Anyways, for the Bakugan selection, as you can see, two of them are the same. One of them's new. I've replaced Ventus Fangzor Ultra with Ventus Nilius Ultra. So see if I can get these guys to all open. Yep. There. So Ventus Nilius Ultra is basically the Ventus power creep boy, because it is 801 and brings a magic shield. So for your cores, obviously what single magic shield is a 650 B magic shield. I like to use this 300 -1 gear cost for regular shields, and Green Fist -2 gear cost, because those plus 150s is not going to be doing you much. And then Ventus Nilius is pretty much, this is your turn 1 option, because he hits that high threshold that a lot of power creep Bakugan have, plus double cores. Core pickups are very easy with him. So there's he's hitting 1450 plus whatever his second core might be, usually either a plus 300 one or a -2 gear cost, which will allow you to play some gears for pretty early on. So first up with the action cards. So first I'm going to get 2 Might of Syndius. I do have multiples of these, I just didn't feel like going out and grabbing another one. But you get 2 Might of Syndiuses. This will allow you to actually win matches early with Maxitor, because really needs it with his base 100 B power. 2 of the Sky's Hymn, so the basically just play this at the end of a turn where you have like an Air Zero in hand, or like before you roll when you have Dan out on the field. Speaking of Air Zero, 2 Air Zeros. And then we got 2 Divine Intervention, 4-cost reroll that will actually allow you to play Evos for free. Really useful for Maxitor and Dragonoid. Just Dragonoid's for 10 costs, so you're definitely not paying that. And Maxitor 7 costs, which you can 3 super fuels. This is mostly here as early hero enabler or early Divine Intervention, because you can super fuel into Divine Intervention into Dragonoid Maximus on turn 2 if you need to. Just running 1 Song of Fire. It's a good card, but there's not much room for any more. So those are the action cards in this deck. Let's get those out of the way. Next up, the Evos. So there's obviously only 2 different Evos in this deck. 3 of Chaos Maximus and Maxitor. 1310 for 7, and then it enables a hero play for free. So, and then 3 Dragonoid Maximus. Obviously everyone knows what this does. So onto heroes, we are running 2 Battle Brawler Leah, 2 Age of Orlis Leah, 2 Mac, which is an enabler more so for Maxitor, 2 Winton. And with this deck, you never want to use Winton's Energizing on open effect. Just because you don't want to accidentally energize something that you really need. I'm just running one of these. This is basically like, okay, so there's high cost cards in this deck. If I happen to get this thing out, just be it like maybe I Dankuzo into it, or maybe I Dankuzo into that Song of Fire, which will just give me 5 free energy and I can play this. So you never want to pay that 5 energy just because, well, unless it's like the end of the turn, your opponent missed and you're dealing damage to them. Because if you just use this at, like, say, the beginning of the turn, all of a sudden you had 5 energy, now you're at nothing, and now your opponent's at 10. So you never want to actually pay that cost unless it's like very end of turn. So 3 Dans. So, yep. And that's actually all the heroes. Onto gear cards. Running 2 Magma Blaster. I can probably honestly just switch this thing out for Glimmering Glaive now that I think about it. But we gotta love that that limited edition Magma Blaster. It looks really nice. But yeah, 2 Magma Blaster. I just like this card. The double strike is really, really useful. Especially on that Maxitor. We're running 1 Heyo Bracer, 1 Pyru Hammer, and then just the wild card in this deck, another just Ventu Channeler. I really like this card. It's ridiculously hard to play, but when you do get it out, it is very, very rewarding. And last, just the assortment of flip cards I got. So I am running a single Tiger Reflex. I don't really want to run more than that because I'm not energy ramping at all in this deck, really. So it's you can really only get that turbo effect off if your opponent decides not to energize when you do. And then the last flips are just so I like these 2 cost Age of Orlis flips. So there's 2 Ventus Web Whip, 1 Nightmare, and 1 Guard Sphere. So I'm running a total of 5 flips in this deck. Yes, that is my updated Dragonoid Maximus deck. All in all, this deck has been performing relatively well. It's still tricky to get that win condition off, for sure, but even without it, Ventus Nilius, Maxitor with Might of Cindius, and then just this guy, Titan Dragonoid, like, with that 700 base B power is pretty good. Not as good as Nilius because it doesn't have a magic shield of its own, but still very solid team, and I am enjoying using this team a lot lately, so definitely room for improvement still, but at least now I can achieve the win condition with like the current as is rulings. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.